Welcome back to Summer Year 2 of the Stardew Valley Min-Max and 100% Perfection Guide. We're covering summer, days 17 through 21, where we'll have a cycle of starfruit wine ready and quite a few starfruit harvests to tend to, including on the farmland and in the sheds as well, and we'll try to set up our third starfruit garden pod shed. We'll continue giving gifts to the few NPCs left to max out, and continue shipping and cooking some items we have not yet. We'll also see a very easy way to complete Kegs' Cuisine quest, and we'll continue and complete some of the other quests. We begin with summer day 17, we check the weather, and finally, we get a sunny day tomorrow. If you remember from last time, days 13 through 16 were all stormy days, and today is one as well, which means we've had 5 stormy days in a row. Now day 13 is always a guaranteed storm, and I did use a rain totem on that day to make it storm on day 14, but the 3 days after that were all just by chance. The storms were nice to get us lots of battery packs for crafting more crystallariums, but unfortunately our Junimos will not harvest crops in the rain, so we did miss out on a couple of coffee harvests and had to take care of some other harvests by hand. That's why I'm happy to have a sunny day tomorrow, but for now, we'll get started with this stormy day. You'll notice our Keg Shed kegs have finished brewing starfruit wine, so similar to last week, before we start brewing more starfruit, we'll try to get some rounds of coffee beans in to turn them into coffee. After sticking the first round of coffee beans in, we begin to harvest and replant the starfruit in the upper left corner of our farm. All the starfruit on our main farm field has grown today, so we'll need to harvest and replant them all with more starfruit seed that will grow in 8 days and be ready for another harvest on day 25. Before we continue, you'll notice the coffee brews very fast. It actually only takes 2 in-game hours, so we'll real quick get another round of coffee going, then begin harvesting the lower left starfruit field. The next harvest after this one will be the last starfruit harvest on the main farm for summer, since we'll only have 3 more days of summer after they have grown. The only crop we can really grow in that time will be wheat, so we will go ahead and plant wheat on day 25 to grow on day 27, then plant wheat again on day 27 to grow on the first day of fall. This of course will preserve the land so it does not become untilled and allows it to be watered by the sprinklers overnight, and wheat can grow in both summer and fall, so we'll actually be able to collect the wheat on fall day 1 just like we did last year. After we finish the lower left field, we head on over to the main field on the right side of our farm and go ahead and begin harvesting and replanting the starfruit here. We'll also collect the battery packs while we're over here, so we can potentially get more from the lightning that will occur during today's storm. You'll notice we have some wheat grown as well, and this is the portion of the field where we were growing melons, but don't really need any more melons now, so we planted some wheat a couple days ago, and now they have grown and lined up nicely with our other starfruit, so we'll have a slightly larger starfruit yield. This wraps up the entire starfruit harvest on the farm here and puts us a bit after 3 p.m. Should still have plenty of time for our starfruit kegs, so we'll go ahead and do one more round of coffee in the keg sheds before we leave the farm to tend to our outside kegs. We'll get some iridium smelting real quick before we leave the farm and begin putting our starfruit into the kegs at the bus stop. As usual, we collect a couple of oak resin tappers along the way here and finish cycling all the kegs except for some back by the farm entrance, which we'll get on the way back home. We cycle some of the kegs on the road as we move through the backwoods to get up to the railroad area. We collect all the oak resin here and try to place the tappers we crafted on any oak trees that do not yet have a tapper. But it looks like there was only 1 oak tree and 1 maple tree not tapped yet, so we'll have to wait for some more trees to grow next time. After this, we head back to the road and continue cycling starfruit, then enter the tunnel and cycle every keg inside here. We move back to the road and finish cycling the kegs here, and you may notice that when I'm cycling the kegs, I'm trying to move in the shortest path possible, so rather than doing the entire bus stop, then the entire road, then the entire tunnel, one after another, I try to do the kegs that are along my path, and this does save some time that we would have spent moving back and forth a whole bunch. We cycle the final few kegs at the bus stop and return to the farm at 9:30 p.m. We are able to craft 57 new kegs since we would run out of oak resin, and surprisingly, we had enough wood, but now are left with less than 400 wood. So we will have to come up with a way to get lots of wood without waiting for more trees to grow. This see in a bit the new method I'll try out. It is rather late now, so we must get straight to finishing our Starfruit wine cycle, so we cycle all the kegs in the first keg shed, which brings us to 11 p.m., so we're pretty good on time actually. I probably could have squeezed in one more round of coffee, but I did not want to take any chances on passing out before finishing the Starfruit cycle, so we continue in the second keg shed, and after every keg is cycled, we begin placing the new kegs, one row at a time, then filling them up with Starfruit, and moving on to the next row until the entire shed is filled with kegs, which are filled with Starfruit. We have 10 kegs left over, and I'm not really sure where to place them now. We do have a bit of space by the kegs outside the greenhouse, so for now, we'll go ahead and place the kegs down here, and we can cycle some coffee in the meantime. We are able to start smelting another round of iridium ore, then grab any items for a potential skull cavern dive tomorrow that we would need, and actually sort of make it to bed, and while we're sleeping, we hear a loud explosion. We were indeed struck by a meteor, conveniently placed in the middle of our coffee field. At least no Junimos were harmed. We wake up on day 18 and check the luck, and it is a bat luck day today, so I'd prefer to skip Skull Cavern today and take care of other tasks instead. We begin with the farm chores, including cycling our new little coffee setup, giving Krobus a gift, cycling the cheese casks, smelting some iron ore, collecting the mushrooms, petting the animals, and making some mayonnaise. After all of this, we warp to the desert for a magic rock candy Thursday. Just doesn't have the same ring to it as Staircase Sunday does. Next, we take the bus to the valley, and then the minecart to the mines to get over by Leo to give him a duck feather. Then we bring Demetrius a pufferfish to complete a quest, then travel down to Pierre's store to buy one of each flower seed that we'd need for the tub of flowers. Normally, we cannot buy the tulip or blue jazz seeds since they are spring seeds, but since last time we acquired Pierre's missing stock list from the Golden Walnut Room, and then gave it to him, we can buy any seeds now, from any season, although the out-of-season seeds will be at a higher price than normal. I spend the rest of my money on some cooking ingredients and melon and wheat seeds. We head next door to give Harvey a rabbit's foot, then down by the saloon to drop off 24 eggs in Gus's fridge to fulfill Gus's famous omelet special order. After this, we head to Elliot's cabin to give him a gold star duck feather rather than the usual regular pomegranate, just to get us to max friendship quicker. We're almost there. A big mistake of this playthrough was missing Elliot's birthday, which was quite a long time ago, but if you recall, it was raining on his birthday, which means he does not leave his cabin, and we did not have 2 hearts with him at the time, so there was nothing we could have done on that day. What would have been best is if we had given him some gifts during the summer maybe, just to get him to 2 hearts so we could enter his cabin in a situation like that. Birthdays are by far the fastest way to level up friendship and saves us a lot of time not having to give out gifts every week like we must do so with Elliot. We journey to Ginger Island and collect the fruit tree fruit, then chop down a few trees while we're here, but of course are mainly here to dig up some ginger. We actually got a good chunk of ginger here, but just a fraction of what we still need. The ginger variation of Caroline's Island ingredient always seems the roughest. I'd much rather have grown 100 pineapples or taro tubers. We'll make our way over to the dig site, and outside the tent here we have another nice chunk, although we're still not at 100 total. We warp back to the main farm and grab some cooking ingredients for any recipes we have not yet cooked, then head inside and begin cooking. Some recipes I find easy to forget are the ones that require another cooked item as an ingredient. Some recipes use the tortilla or bread, like the stuffing here, and there are quite a few recipes we haven't cooked yet that require cave carrots, which I'd consider a relatively easy ingredient to forget about. I made the tortilla for the fish taco, but forgot a tuna, so I go back out for that and grab one, and then we'll be able to cook it. After cooking a bunch, we'll try to store the cooked items away, but it looks like we ran out of chest space here, so we'll need to real quick craft another stone chest. You may also notice that all these items we just cooked have a prefix which says fresh. This is applied when Key's Hungry Challenge is active, which it is for us, so we'll need to ship over 100,000 G's worth of freshly cooked items, which may seem difficult as most cooked items don't sell for very much. This is actually extremely easy for us, as the triple shot espresso is a cooked item, made from 3 coffees, which we have quite a bit of. A triple shot sells for 450G, so we'll only need 223 triple shots, which would be made from 669 coffees. We cook the triple shot espresso and right away throw them in the shipping bin, so overnight we will finish Key's Hungry Challenge. Since we're already shipping for a fair amount of money tonight, we might as well ship some other random items which we have not yet for that perfection goal, mainly some animal products. We'll of course hold off on shipping any artisan goods for now, and wait to switch to the artisan sell bonus first. There isn't a whole lot left to do on the farm now, but I try to clean up some of the trees and grab the batteries while I'm at it. Then I realize we have not shipped mead yet, so we'll need to brew some by putting honey in a few kegs, and we have also not shipped juice, so we'll throw some random vegetables into the other kegs. We get our inventory organized and get a round of iridium smelting, then leave the farm and head to the mines. Of course, our main goal when we come to the dangerous mines is to gather radioactive ore, but radioactive ore is so rare that I like to justify another reason for spending time here. And today, that reason is going to be gathering wood, since we need more wood for kegs. Although we can't really get much wood even on the jungle floors here, we can only get hardwood from the mahogany trees and stumps. But there is a way to turn hardwood into regular wood using the wood chipper, so tomorrow we'll have to buy some more of those from Robin so we can process a whole bunch of hardwood into wood. We pass out in the mines and see our 100,000 G in earnings from the triple shot espresso that we shipped, and that also completes Key's Hungry Challenge. Day 19 is another bad luck day, and we begin with smelting and checking the mail, where we find an entire mini fridge fit inside from Gus for completing his omelet special order. Next we craft 36 crystallariums and enter the jade shed to collect the ready jades, then place down the new crystallariums and fill them with jades. We're getting pretty close to filling the entire shed here. We smelt some more iron, harvest the fruit trees in the greenhouse, then harvest the fish pond row and fulfill the void salmon's request for 5 void essence. Now that's a reasonable request, unlike the lava eel's desire for demolition. We must make sure the farm stays nice and tidy here, so we fix the broken path down here and remove a tree, then leave the farm to swing by the traveling cart. Last time I had forgotten to pick up a rare seed, which we will need to grow to ship a sweet gem berry for perfection, so we remembered today, and I also bought a tulip since we have not shipped one yet, and it's easier than growing one then shipping. While we're nearby, we pay the wizard a visit and give him a purple mushroom before warping back to the farm. And this does put us at 10 hearts with the wizard now. We just have 1 heart remaining with Elliot and Harvey, and then 3 hearts remaining with Leo. We smelt a few rounds of copper before leaving the farm to head to Pierre's, where we buy 20 red cabbage and artichoke seeds. I believe I have shipped these crops already, but I do want to ship at least 15 of every crop for the polyculture achievement. I buy more cooking supplies yet again, and also some bouquets, because in a previous version of Stardew Valley, you could actually give romanceable NPCs as many bouquets as you wanted after 8 hearts and just get them to 10 hearts right away. But this definitely no longer works, so I don't know why I bought them. I head up to the carpenter's shop and buy 31 wood chippers from Robin, so that we'll have a total of 32 for our farm in order to process lots of hardwood into wood. We chop the trees above the shop before warping back to the farm, and then we place down the 32 wood chippers on the bottom right side of our farm right next to the lightning rods and begin chipping a round of hardwood. We do have 50,000 G left to spend, so it makes sense to use it on starfruit seeds since we'll always need more. We warp to the desert and bring our supply of emeralds with us, since today is Friday, and on Fridays we can trade emeralds to the desert trader in exchange for cheese, which we can sell for more than an emerald with the artisan sell bonus. We spend the rest of our money on starfruit seeds, then warp back to the farm, and for some reason instead of warping to the beach, I ride through town, probably to try to find Harvey or Elliot to give them those bouquets that I actually cannot give to them, but never mind that. We arrive at Ginger Island and find a nice chunk of ginger to dig up, then stop at the Golden Walnut Room to buy another Junimo chest, and we also take a quick look at our perfection tracker so far, in case anyone is wondering what the percentages are at. Next we chop some trees and mine some muscle rocks, then place down the Junimo chest to have here at the island farm. We travel up the island north section and find another decent amount of ginger, then continue north to the volcano. We really don't need many more resources from the volcano, although more dragon's teeth are always nice in case we wish to craft some more island warp totems before we get the obelisk, although we will for sure get the last 2 obelisks before summer ends. We can also gather some more cinder shards in case we ever want to upgrade our crusader hammer. Not sure yet, but it's nice to have as a possibility. We also, of course, gather some plain old stone, and I should have laid some more bombs down to gather even more stone, because you'll see in the next day, well, let's just say we might need some more stone. We pass out in the volcano, then wake up at the island to another bad luck day. Yet we do get lucky with another chunk of ginger to dig up by the island farm, and then some more over by the dig site. We warp to the main farm, and without any hesitation, we grab our supply of starfruit seeds and begin harvesting and replanting the starfruit within our first starfruit shed. This takes less than an hour, and we can move over to our second starfruit shed, and we'll harvest and replant all the starfruit within here. We should finish before 9 AM, and the reason I'm very focused on the time right now is because I want to try to set up the third starfruit garden pod shed today. We will need 274 clay to craft 137 garden pots and deluxe retaining soil to fill the shed. We currently have 100 clay, so we'll need to gather 174 more pieces of clay, which seems like quite a bit to gather for a single day. But with the power of, you guessed it, clay farming, we should be able to manage 174 clay, although I'll have to be much more efficient about it compared to last time. We warp to the beach, and I begin at the far left bottom corner of the sand and begin hoeing and untilling until I find a piece of clay which will mark the start of the pattern. This time, I will take advantage of Blade's map predictor in case I lose the pattern, and to begin right now, the pattern actually began a bit offset, so I'm gonna just use the map predictor to dig up some spots marked with clay until I can get to the pattern I recognize. I am eventually able to start the usual pattern and get some clay going, and then I reference the map predictor once again to start the pattern again in a bit better of a spot. We continue the pattern for quite a few times, and do so rather quickly, and are able to get 100 pieces of clay. At this point, I am a bit too far to the right side, as the pattern will begin colliding with Elliot's cabin, so I start the pattern again a bit more to the left to get to a total of 137 pieces of clay. I may have gotten my numbers mixed up a bit when playing this day, so I thought this was all the clay I needed, and I leave the beach and head over to Clint's to sell 40 iridium bars for 60,000 G. We need the money to buy more starfruit seeds for both the shed and greenhouse, so we warp to the desert and buy 137 seeds for the shed and 119 seeds for the greenhouse. We warp back to the farm and we'll take care of the greenhouse harvest, but we actually want to grow our red cabbage, artichokes, and rare seed, so we'll plant the single rare seed and 20 red cabbage and artichoke seed, then with the remaining space grow the usual starfruit seeds. After this, we're ready to craft the garden pots and deluxe retaining soil for the new shed, but this is when I realize I did not farm up enough clay and need 36 more. The beach is currently a bit dug up already, so I find it easier if we clay farm at the desert this time, since clay farming does work anywhere where the ground can be dug up. It takes quite a bit of time to dig up the first clay of the pattern, but eventually we get the pattern going and are able to farm the remaining clay needed for the garden pots and deluxe retaining soil. We can now warp back to the farm and right away craft the 137 garden pots, and then we begin to craft the deluxe retaining soil, but are only able to craft 33. What just happened? At first I thought maybe we needed more fiber, but then I checked and we are completely out of stone. Just regular old stone. I did not think we would be running out of stone anytime soon, but it turns out a single crystallarium requires 99 stone to craft, and yesterday we had crafted 36, which means we spent 3,564 stone on all of them. It was definitely worth it for the jades, but I did not realize just how fast we used our stone supply up. There's nothing we can do to acquire more stone right now, so we'll go ahead and just place down the 33 garden pots with deluxe retaining soil that we can, and plant them all with starfruit seeds. After they grow in 12 days, we'll place down the remaining garden pots and deluxe retaining soil to complete the starfruit shed. It's a bit annoying that I could not complete the shed today, but it's all good. It just shows the importance of keeping track and managing resources in Stardew Valley, especially when min-maxing. It is getting towards the end of the day now, and I realize that we haven't actually shipped the 100 hot peppers that are required for Lewis's crop order quest, so we go ahead and ship those, then take care of some smelting, then process another round of hardwood in the chippers, and yet another cycle in the furnaces, then finally get our inventory organized for a potential school cavern dive, and then head to bed. We wake up on day 21, and it is a good humor luck day, so we will do a skull cavern dive. But I grabbed everything except a warp totem, so I do have to grab one before warping to the desert. We did not check the TV just to see if we could save any time by not doing so. We get started with the skull cavern dive and use 2 magic rock candies and experience quite good luck. We gain over 1000 iridium ore before passing out, and I believe we have just completed a very successful skull cavern dive. But wait, something doesn't feel right here. It feels like I forgot something. Something very, very important that I probably mentioned to never, ever forget about. What could it possibly be? Well, it sure is a good thing that we can roll back our save by 1 day and replay day 21 here. Since I will be replaying this skull cavern dive, I might as well livestream this dive since I haven't in a bit and just for fun. So do keep an eye out for that livestream, which will be this Sunday at 9 p.m. Central Time. In the next video, we'll see if I can pull off a better skull cavern dive than the one today, which will be Lost to the Void. We'll have more harvests of starfruit ready and cycles of starfruit wine done, which will put us at enough starfruit wine in total to sell for over 12 million G to buy and construct the desert and island obelisks and the gold clock. We'll also fill up the remaining heart of friendship with Elliot and Harvey and give Leo a gift on his birthday, which will finally put us at 10 hearts, maximum friendship with every NPC in the game. We'll also finish Caroline's Island ingredient special order to unlock the solar panel crafting recipe, and craft that to finish the craft everything perfection goal. We'll also finish shipping everything except the sweet gemberry, which will have to wait a bit longer for it to grow in the greenhouse. After that, it'll just be checking the Queen of Sauce recipe every Sunday until we can finally achieve perfection on the last day of the year. If you are looking forward to the remainder of the series, please consider subscribing so you can be sure to see the videos when they come out. And feel free to leave a comment with anything you'd like to share. I always appreciate and enjoy every comment. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye.